you send that out?
What up?
The Facebook Live, yeah.
Right now. Hey everybody, Facebook Live. This is the Bachelor Pad Radio, Jake Podcast, jakepodcast.com. And I think that's about it.
What's up, guys?
What's up? We've got Dave in the studio. We've got the magnificent missing Matt. He's back. That's good. Guess who's back? Back again.
Yeah.
Shady's
I'm back. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah. So hey, everybody, what's going on, man? Thank you for bringing me the cooler version of my dog back to me. I appreciate that. Good job. Way to.
No problem.
I guess I did
dog.
my part of it with driving out to you, and you did your part by bringing her back to me.
For sure.
So yeah. So
She's a very, very beautiful dog.
it really is. I mean, you know, I particularly think my dog is a little more handsome. Like I've had people,
Right.
I can only go off the fact that people are like, dude, your dog, that is an attractive dog. Actually, that was told to me on my walk today. Like, holy crap, that is an
Right.
attractive dog. And I was like, what are you going to do? Takes after his daddy. Actually, not that attractive. I'm just doing it to try and guss this up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if I had an ugly dog, they just, oh, he's
They'd be
so
like,
ugly. And I'm like,
but
balls.
look at the owner. It's uglier.
Oh,
Yeah, who are you talking about, him or me? Like,
Right.
what's going on?
poor guy. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
No, dog's a good dog. It was too much for my dog though. My dog, he's old, set in his ways.
For dude, completely understand. But I appreciate you guys doing the foster for me.
For sure.
I'm just gonna go ahead and take it. Take it right on the head. And okay, what can I
Whatever
do?
happens.
And what can I do? And how can I do? You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like your dogs will play a part in it as well. For communication with her, because when you're not there. Well, I mean, not there, but, let's say you're in another room. Dogs like to communicate. They like to do their own thing together.
Dude, I will let those two out and play. They're the exact same breed. They have the exact same, weird energy level, and just it'll be great. I think that those two, they've been when they're around each other. Hey, miss, get down. So obviously there's a couple things I'm
Plus,
gonna have to
they're
do.
identical.
Yeah, no, having identical like twin dogs is kind of neat. So yeah, let me do this. I had to do a couple little things. Post that. No, we post it normal. Bing. And there we go. Okay, so while we were gone, news. You saw the the New York City the bombing thing, right? The terrorist attack.
Right. The truck thing.
The truck thing. Kind of weird, right? We've talked about obviously with the Las Vegas thing.
Right.
And I'm just not really. I don't know. It's really trippy to me to just see some of these things that are going on, but they have zero to no effect to me. Like, dude, seriously, that could happen. I don't know, in Plymouth tomorrow, and I'd be like, dude,
sure.
it's stupid, it's
Right.
whatever. Like, I'm almost desensitized. I almost feel like I'm on like a weird antidepressant that is not allowing me to have, either high thoughts or low thoughts.
My-
Like, it's just dude, seriously, it's the
Right.
world we live in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel any. I mean, I'm almost the same way. I'm like, damn, that's very unfortunate. But I mean, that's as far as. I mean, I don't know if that's wrong for that, but
I don't know. I guess it's just how everybody just portrays it. You grow up in America, you grow up hearing all these war stories, and I guess it's kind of just a normal it sounds bad, but it's a normal thing. We're constantly hearing about terrorist attacks. We're constantly hearing about all these attacks towards everybody else except for us, And I feel like if it were to majorly happen in the United States as well as other countries, because half the time we don't even know what happens in other countries, if this
Remember,
were to-
directly
if
in
this
the
were to be a bigger terrorist situation, I feel like people would treat it differently.
And I mean, look, the fact that it happened, in Manhattan, close to, the World Trade Center, and, in that same area, I believe it's Manhattan, right? That's where World Trade Center and
Yeah.
everything was. So, I mean, it's weird. And this guy was radicalized. And hey, I want to say hey to Matthew. There's another Matthew out there. He's mirroring you, Matt from Redford, and Miss Christine.
I can't see that.
Yeah,
No?
I'm not getting any comments.
But I'm just seeing where the joins go.
Sure.
Oh.
But it's kind of weird when when this happens, and yes, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
I guess maybe the logical part of my mind goes, okay, this could happen at any turn of
Right.
any turn of the day. And this guy was, and it's funny, with all the talk I do about Ubering and Lyft and why drive yourself, why even get yourself into a situation where there's going to be an issue with drinking and driving or going out. And this guy, I guess, was an Uber driver before this. So now I'm going to have to hear that from everybody I've tried to talk and convince into taking an Uber everywhere.
Right.
So great, good job, guy, with taking. And they said he was radicalized from watching ISIS videos on his phone. So it's very interesting how people can be
Up to date.
Well, just anyone. Like, you're going to watch something, you're going to do whatever. This ideal is going to, enter into your brain, and then, cool, you're going to take into action. And obviously you've got First Amendment rights and whatever, but isn't there should be a way with the Patriot Act and everything, right? Like, I don't mean to be a lawmaker or someone who's going to come up with the answer to this, but why in the United States should anybody be seeing ISIS videos? Or, that should be flagged.
True.
They can listen to our phones. My
True.
smart TV, I got rid of my smart TV that used to be right over here to the left just because it was being creepy and turning on by itself. And I was a little scared. I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm talking about this. Maybe I should let me unplug the TV. Dude, I had to read like a 28-page, just so you know this before you get into this TV, and just the information it gives back. And they, kind of freaked me out. But if that's the case, and that's what I love, like all the talk about recently, with all the talk about, we're on top of this, and, America, and we, this won't happen here, and we're gonna, close our borders. And, Trump immediately went out to a couple things like, dude, we need to get rid of this and get rid of that because this individual could have fallen under those criterias.
Yeah.
It's just a crazy world, dude.
Sure.
Dude, the guy you work next to could go haywire and do
sure.
some stuff. So I don't know. Were you what did you think when you saw it? Did it do anything to you or any of the recent ones?
It did and it didn't. For the most part, I think that I'm alongside with you. It didn't happen near me, but at the same time, I'm keeping aware because it could happen at any day, any given time to anyone all over the world, right? Now, what I'm really scared about, what you were saying yourself, was people everywhere only access 10% of the internet. The rest of the internet is just so much information, so many different things that portray our life itself, So it kind of creeps me out to know that we only access 10% of the internet, and knowing that so many more potential violences are out there towards us. Like you said yourself, at any time given moment, somebody can hack into a computer or hack into a camera and watch,
For sure. But I don't understand how we're not thwarting stuff like this, and I guess maybe not even thwarting this. Like, this guy just decided today he was going to do whatever, and it's literally mimicking the stuff that's going on in France, the stuff that's going on in.
He said that he's been planning this for a year. He did a test run last week.
Would you talk to this guy last week?
It was on the news.
It was on the news. All right. Fake
Yeah.
news? No.
They
Real
said
news?
it was they did it. He's been planning it for a year, and he did a test run last week.
Really?
Yeah. So
It's crazy how these people think, because the Las Vegas shooter, obviously it wasn't just one guy. There was different guys there that were a part of the plan. And I was watching this interview on the guy who they caught, who was in the lobby of the hotel watching out for the shooter, and he confessed everything. And he said they tried to bomb Lollapalooza, but they said it was too big of a job for them.
Really?
I didn't hear any of this.
For somebody to say that, it's kind of, it gives you a different perspective, because, we could have bombed Lollapalooza. How Lollapalooza, one of the biggest music festivals, but it was too big, so they tried something different. You know?
Yeah,
So,
I don't
like,
know. I mean, it's really weird. I don't know. I'm kind of like sociopathic in that nature. That look, I could also be shot by an American, that wanted to rob me when I got home
Well,
from work.
Look at the that guy that just got murdered. The 75-year-old retired veteran. The two girls walked into the O'Reilly's parts.
Mhm.
Two girls went up. They robbed him. They just shot him for no reason and ran out.
really?
Well, and I guess maybe that's my thing that if you look at all the things that could possibly happen, right, dude. Seriously, and even our government focusing on this kind of stuff that 8 people at one time, and I feel horrible for the people that were just wandering around about their day and this happened, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But in that same token, it happens in every city, like every major city in the United States, multiple times a day. A carjacking, this. I mean,
Right.
it's a violent world in which we live in, and sometimes we try and think that we live in a bubble and everything's going to be cool. And
It's everywhere.
no, it's everywhere. And you either do like Matt and make sure you've got your, you've got.
Did you hear about the guy, the Walmart Denver guy? Walked in the
I did.
Walmart, started shooting up the place and killed 3 people, and people had their weapons drawn, but they were protecting themselves. They didn't want, just in case they had to. That was part of the police said there was when they were, securing the place. That's one of the things they had to make sure is, who's who was the dude, who's protecting
Right.
themselves with their guns. But yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
crazy stuff.
Yeah, no, it's really weird. I don't, again, it happens. I don't know, I don't know why or how or, what's going on with it, but, just it was topical. It was in the news, so I thought
Bring it up.
I'd
Yeah.
check it out. But I do have, and we're gonna try and move into our normal stuff and see where this takes us. Matt, what is your knowledge of what? Why are you giggling at me,
'Cause-
sir?
Nothing.
What?
It's all good. What's up?
Oh, what do you know technically about the MTV, the Teen Mom lady that went from the Teen Mom show years ago that went into full-blown crazy porn star?
No.
You don't know of this?
I do
I
not
don't
know
watch
of
Dude,
this.
Mom
you
either.
you
Yeah.
you don't what?
I don't watch Teen
I
Mom.
don't watch
either.
Teen
Bro,
Mom.
it was
It's
forever
terrible.
ago, and then now she's obviously,
I don't watch Teen Mom.
this happened forever. Wow.
Sorry, man.
I'm not. Yeah.
Farrah Abraham kicked out the back door of MTV's Teen Mom OG. I guess the original.
Good title.
Yeah. So Farrah Abraham was fired from MTV's Teen Mom OG series this week. The news came just hours after she performed a Halloween-themed pornographic webcam show. This chick went from, I forget, like whatever chick I was dating or whatever would, Teen Mom. And I think we talked about it on, on other radio stuff.
Right.
That it's just, oh my God, dude, what is MTV putting? It was still, I don't know if MTV actually still puts stuff like regular reality shows. I guess they do,
Yeah.
but I haven't watched MTV in like forever. Like I guess
Right.
Real World or Road Rules or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But the chick I was dating, Teen Mom, and oh my God, do you believe these little chicks? And chicks were talking about it. It was like in the reality thing. Don't get me wrong, she's smoking hot, and I've
Right.
seen her do.
She's really not that pretty.
What are you looking at?
Is that her?
What compared to what?
I mean,
Compared to
she's all right.
Let me check her out.
She's all right.
there's something.
Yeah, I'm with Matt on this one. She's
She's all right.
a-okay. I mean,
What,
don't get me
what
wrong,
weird
she's really
standard
pretty.
do you have? What weird standard do you guys have for women? First
Well,
and foremost.
Well, I think it's because what you told us.
Look at her
and
face.
That's what's on my mind.
There's way prettier chicks than her.
Yeah,
What, dude? Did I say she was the hottest chick on the planet?
she's very.
I said
she's
that
very
she
nice
went from
looking.
doing this to doing
yeah.
porn.
She's busty.
She's
She wasn't always busty. I like the
Oh.
natural. See if you can like.
Oh, that is
look through
natural.
other- no, that is not
No.
natural.
oh, never mind then. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably before. That's,
Yeah.
That's before because watch what
I'm a
happens.
big all natural kind of
and
guy.
that's after.
Yeah, I haven't even seen the after. But dude, do yourself a favor. Like if you get a few minutes to go to the bathroom by yourself or whatever,
Yeah.
it's right
take your
now.
phone or your laptop
I got
and
it. I got it right
always,
now.
always.
dude, it's good and she's creepy. And I guess I've always had a thing for like when the Paris Hilton tapes came out, dude.
You're all about that.
Dude was all about it. I watch the like reality style of like normal chicks. I don't watch like regular like if somebody asks me who a porn star porn star is, I can't really tell you. But if it's a
Leaked.
yeah, like a real person or somebody who had a little bit of fame and then they went into porn. Like I was waiting for Britney Spears for the longest time. Like I was like, shaved her head. It's coming. She's going to do something, she's going to do something totally,
Insane,
scandalous and whatever. And I was like, dude, she's going to, and we used to have like a porn pool. Like some people have a death pool,
Right.
like who's going to die next. We would have a porn pool for the longest time just to see who would,
Who would?
Yep, and who would get into it? So when this happened, I was enamored. I was like, oh, cool, that's some weird chick from.
Is that her?
That's the webcam thing. That's like her. I don't know technically, but just put her porn movie or whatever.
I
in
did.
there.
I'm trying to find it.
But yeah, it's really, 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 really neat. All I know is, and this is kind of going to go into a theory. She was known as the backdoor mom. Okay, so that was her.
Let's hear it.
That was her. That was her niche.
Right.
Right. So the reality TV star 26 wrote on Facebook Monday that that Viacom, the parent company that owns MTV, fired her today, or technically in her words, fired me today, and let me go because of a business mogul. I act like an adult and partake in adult promotions and activities that other adults do for free or in private. She continued, even though I successfully have been to gentlemen's clubs appearances, they filmed filmed me at the AVNs and other Viacom shows that glorified showing couples having sex on their network. But as stated today, my brand's press outshines the Teen Mom Viacom press. Sad, such a phenomenal show will no longer have its biggest talent on a show because of woman hating, sex shaming, hate crime, selfish, Weinstein company power trip behaviors against professional, hardworking, honest mothers. Now she has a bit of a, like a John Dillinger concept in her head. You have to know, dude, it took people years and years. Now, I have nothing wrong with it, right? If I was a sponsor or I was something, I would have, dude, let's not pretend porn doesn't exist. Let's not pretend that it is one of the largest grossing industries in the world, not only, the world, but, also the United States. So to try and pretend that it doesn't exist, and you knew she had already done movies and done films and did all this. You brought her on the show, and I guess the fact that she did something notable while the, either while the filming of this new show or whatever's going on. So I think that's where they had the problem.
The draw, yeah. Well, what do you expect? She went through all this, and I think people who go through, in my opinion, I think women who go through this get ridiculed quite a bit.
I don't know. I mean, if that's what you do, that's what you do.
Right. But
dude, you said you would bang Johnny Depp, and you're that cool with your own sexuality, but a chick who does porn, that you've watched porn in your day and you've done X, Y, and Z, where's the defining line? It's sex. It's stuff that we've all done and we all do and we all partake in, whether being visual.
I don't know, because I met people who are awkward with the idea of sex. I mean, they have it, but they're awkward with the idea of it. They're not very. They're very personal about it.
Well, and that's fine,
right?
Yeah.
But I think that's why it's not brought up too much. When I agree with you when it says, why isn't it brought up? Everybody has it. Everybody does it. It's well known.
Yeah. There's no real if, ands, or buts about it. It exists.
It's
real.
Right.
Now, the one part of it, a couple of the things I wanted to, and I love it. Matt comes to bring the show. He drops off the dog and then watches porn through the whole show. Says hi and bye.
I just want to try that. I just see.
If you sneak off to the bathroom at some point during this,
don't worry about it. I won't.
I'm going to take the cam in there with you.
Ew.
I'm going to put it, wear it on your hat like a
Don't
GoPro.
worry about it, yeah.
But like in this day and age now with, the teen mom chick, now only because I like reality porn. I don't want leaked stuff and I don't want all that. But if like when Paris Hilton did that, I guess it was technically leaked, or they did, or the Pam and Tommy Lee. Dude, when it's a real person, like if Shania Twain did a did a
wow,
crazy
yeah.
like sex tape, dude, I'd be all about it.
over it,
Is
right?
that her?
Yep, and that is the one. So feel free and skim through. Try not to
I
watch
sh-
the whole like 2 hours.
I will.
It's
But
2 hours.
she's a very, very bad girl.
Yeah.
So, the sponsorship, right? The company that said, no, that's not cool. We don't like this. Your brand is outshining, this, which is stupid because,
Super.
as anyone, even Howard Stern back in the day would tell you, any press, even bad press is good press, right?
Right.
You get out there, even people who don't like you still watch
It
to
gets
see.
people's attention.
Right. And and it's kind of if you look at it from a lesson and learning standpoint, it's kind of weird because you get this, if anything, maybe moms and these wild teens maybe don't let your teen get a little niche of fame, and then look at what she did with her fame.
Right.
But when you listen to her talk and you listen to her, her overall ideas on life and how she's the victim and all this stuff, I don't think her intellectual level was going to have her do much in life,
Much
right?
more than what she's
She was doing. So at least she found a way to monetize her, her attractiveness. I know you two are somehow, super good looking guys who, are quick to mention if this chick is hot or not or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Well, thank you.
see, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just,
Everybody has a different preference.
well, it's not a preference. It's just, is she an attractive person or not? You guys, well, she's not that hot. She's not this. She's not that. Like, what? That's just weird. Don't be guys. In this day and age, you could be called a misogynist and whatever because, oh, this girl wasn't pretty enough for you and she's not. Like, dude, I can find a 400-pound woman with a bad haircut, but she has pretty eyes, or,
Right.
you know what I mean? So I guess being too concerned with how attractive somebody is in one way or another is kind of a,
I think it's. I agree with what you're saying with how I really like intelligent women. I really like smart girls, right? And I think I give everybody the same treatment when it comes to meeting them for the first time. First impressions are everything. And I guess I tend to base my first impression off of a woman, and I haven't met this woman in my entire life. And I have this thought about her. I never talked to her. I don't know how she sounds. I never read her body language, But if, let's say, I do meet her, I may come to find out she's even more attractive than I thought she was based off of who she is. I drew a lot out of her. For you, like you.
for me, she was on a TV show and then became a porn star and did whatever. I like her get up and go.
Right.
Has anyone seen my dog in the last 15 minutes, by the way? Right there?
Yep.
Okay. All right, cool.
She's taking a big
She's
siesta.
crashed.
All right. So, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Number one, we talked about the Cam Newton and the yogurt thing and
Right.
how quick sponsors drop you. And then, heaven forbid you say anything that somebody might be offended by, right? I take great offense to that. The weird porn style of it, are you watching? Is it just like
No.
randomly playing in the background?
No, it's done. I'm done with it. It was
You're
quick. It was. Sorry.
No, it's actually not that quick. It's actually a very long one.
Is
It may
it?
have just
I-
been a snippet. But yeah, her tag was the teen backdoor mom. Okay, now what's even creepier about it is her dad took her, like she had a little reality thing when she was doing something for Vivid Video or one of those video companies where her dad was there, like, go knock him dead, sweetie. I mean, she got $1 million, I think, for her one, for that one movie or whatever.
Right.
She got like $1 million. So, dude, what are the odds of her, getting knocked up and, still being a teen, like 17, 18, pregnant, and then, I'm going to work at the Walmart and try and raise my kid off, $9 an hour or whatever. So to parlay that, if your sexuality was in tune with it, cool.
Right.
Now, she doesn't make a bit of sense when she talks about a lot of her, her overall, why they fired her and she's the
Well,
biggest
yeah.
talent and, it's kind of random, but
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
so no teen backdoor. Just no matter what I say today, you guys have nothing really
No,
to chime in with. I like
Alright,
it.
No, it's
Okay.
It's just,
I never was into
I
MTV.
just don't like Teen Mom.
No, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't even know. I didn't even know there was a show except that this chick will talk about it. It's on MTV. I would turn the channel, and then
Kind of interesting.
Well, there's
Oh,
a
what's
Dance
this?
Moms. There's that hillbilly chick one.
well,
There's
Jesus,
all
I
these show. I didn't even.
I don't
know
even
that.
know any of this
There's
exists.
what's the Honey Bunny chick?
The Honey Boo Boo thing.
Yeah, whatever
Did
that
you see
was.
she lost a ton of weight? The Honey Boo Boo
She's
lady.
Still ugly.
Well,
But I mean, but
yeah.
but there's
Great
but then there's the Housewives of Atlanta and
Right.
California and Ohio or whatever. There's
To be honest,
so many different.
I don't know. I just don't watch too much TV in general. You know, I just pick a show that's on Netflix and I binge watch it.
Well, and that's
you
the
know?
way it's going. Reality TV, I think, is dead. If it's not for a couple that are on some of the big channels, I don't
Lifetime.
know. I don't watch things like normal anymore. I've got a Fire Stick, right? So if it's Amazon, you know, it's easy for me to. I have to think about what I want to watch, and then I go watch now.
Have you caught Superstore?
That TV show, Superstore.
Dude, I was rolling.
Oh, hilarious
I
TV
I was
show.
rolling.
It's a very underground show.
It's a spoof, basically on Walmart,
Yeah.
and it's
called Cloud
employ-
Nine.
Oh, is it Cloud9 or it's called Superstore?
No, it's called Cloud. Well, it's the show's called Superstore, but the store they work at it's called Cloud Nine.
Dude, it's hilarious, dude. I was laughing. It's a pretty good show.
It's a really good show, and I don't know if you ever seen the movie Employee of the Month with Dane Cook, and it's kind of
Which,
like that.
I know you're a big Dane Cook fan. I don't seem to find
I'm
him
not
funny.
that big of a Dane Cook fan. I like him.
You
in a
were
couple
at one
movies.
point or
yeah,
whatever.
I was, and
Dane Cook only did the one concert he was magnificent in.
that's
Well-
the only reasons why I liked him was because Employee of the Month and that big.
All right, here's the question: How do you randomly and remotely become unfunny? Because he was funny. He had a style. He had
Right.
when he went bankrupt, when his manager like ran all of his money out and did everything. It was just horrible.
Right.
I forget what it was, but somebody, either his manager, and his manager was like close to him or something, and completely robbed him blind. And then he'd done all that stuff, had Comedy Central, all the the stand-ups. And was making good movie and movie or making good money and movies
Right.
and all this stuff, and then, woof, and then he like got not funny. Like I guess like he had a bad series of days, and all the
Right.
humor
Yeah.
went out of you.
Well, I
I
follow him
didn't
on.
hear that. I didn't know.
I follow him on Instagram, and with what he posts, it seems like he just kind of like started slowly falling off the whole fame scene because he has a magnificent house. Like he takes pictures of his house all the time. Has a house, has a backyard pool, has a dog. He constantly works out. Like he's doing. I guess what you were saying was he kind of lost his funniness, so he picked something else. I'm gonna start working on myself. So it seems like he's still happy, but he's doing.
I like this.
Living
We got
life.
an insider to the
Yeah.
Dane Cook. No, that's neat
Well,
because
Ryan he reminds me of Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
Ryan Reynolds, he's pretty good.
but Ryan Reynolds is definitely a lot more famous. Deadpool's 2 is coming out soon.
Yeah, it's coming out soon, for sure.
I don't know what else they're going to really be able to do to the Deadpool. I get it.
Yeah.
See, this is what I hate about sequels. The brand of funny that was in there was funny, the snarky, whatever. Now it seems to be repetitive. Bad Santa 2.
Right. Well, doing the whole Marvels deal that's a whole, not a trilogy, but I don't even know what you
With
would
Disney,
call it.
yeah.
I guess in the next 3 years they're supposed to come out with 165 new characters, and it's going to be done within like 5 movies. They're going to have a whole craziness of and you know how all those movies, they all tie in together, right?
Right. How does that
Somehow.
make you feel though? Like,
I think it's cool because when they do them, they're funny as I'd laugh my ass off because there's smart ass comments,
right.
and then a lot of them, the Kingsman,
Yeah.
that's part of the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Kingsman's involved in that, Guardians of the Galaxy,
Right.
they're in there,
Good movie, by the way.
and they're in that.
Yeah.
Though it's this whole
It's a
crazy
connection, right.
connection and
Well, how do you guys feel about Logan? Have you guys seen Logan yet?
I did.
it's all right.
That was good. It had a good storyline to it.
It was, yeah. It was. I feel like it was more of a descriptive kind of Marvel because Logan obviously dies off,
Mm-hmm.
and I enjoyed it because out of all the superheroes, X-Men is my favorite series. I loved watching the X-Men.
Isn't X-Men different than Marvel? They're
No,
not in the
X-Men
same.
isn't Marvel.
Dude, just hand it off to the millennial. He knows.
Are you
He would
sure?
have to know.
Positive.
You sure
yeah.
it's not a DC?
No, it's not. It's X-Men is Marvel, and
But they're not in the same.
oh yeah, they are.
But they're not connected
Yep.
into that big trilogy.
They are.
Which movie is it? Which one is it connected to? Because they're not in the same. They're
They're-
different. There's 2 different producers, so it's 2 different
They're different
On
producers,
shoots.
but they're under the same. There's under the same story.
But there's
plot
no
of Marvel.
connection though. There's no connection with the X-Men style and the Fantasy Four. That's a
The
total
comic
different-
books, yes. Throughout the comic books,
But not
there
in the
is.
movies.
No, not
Yeah, I'm
not in the
talking
movies.
strictly
Okay,
the
yeah, not in the
movies.
movies, but during the comic books, like the storyline, yeah, they're all connected in some way.
Right.
But
I
you're
just
right.
started learning all this.
The
stuff.
the movies are the X-Men movies are all a series of its own.
Yes.
Um,
Agreed.
and they're give or take to some people it's a lot to watch because if you watch back to back all the X-Men and then you follow up with the Wolverines, it's a lot to watch. It's a lot
for
to
sure,
take in,
for
you
sure,
know.
for sure.
But all in all, it's great because I love how X-Men takes all the characters in every movie and they make them personal. You know, you know them
yeah.
personally. Each one
Well,
of
even
them.
like Ages of Ultron.
Yeah, exactly.
That one was just that by far. That was one of the best ones.
Ages of Ultron's pretty BA. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I watch them, but I don't remember. I wasn't a comic book guy.
I wasn't either. I just
don't-
started learning all this stuff. I think how they intertwine is just it's going to be
It's
awesome
insane,
when
yeah.
they bring it all together.
It's
like
like
the,
how do they
you know
keep
the
track of this?
Thor and all that stuff just
Yeah.
all rolls together.
Yep.
And well, there's a new one out. There's a new one coming out right now.
Thor.
Is it the Thor one?
I
And there's Hulks in it and
yeah. I really liked both the Avengers. I guess I just didn't like the style. It was too kid friendly, I guess you can say.
I don't
you know.
it was pretty. They had a lot of smart ass.
Right. Well, that too.
Comments.
You know. I feel like they're pushing more towards all viewers instead of children now that they've gotten comics back because I read comments or I read post recall posts towards Marvel that people like fan base are saying that we need more of like a dimensional view or more of like a descriptional view
Right.
of the whole movie, and that's when what you were saying they're coming out with more characters. You know,
Right. I don't know. It's good. It's cool stuff.
it is very fascinating.
I mean, look, I'll watch whatever. I like, dude. I've been getting really
I love the
into
special effects. They're just
dude,
phenomenal.
all of it. It's amazing. I will watch at Star Trek any of the like. There's like 3
yeah.
or 4 Star Trek movies. I guess I've found out I'm a closet Trekkie. Like I like Star Trek. Every time I say a Trekkie, it makes me think of Eddie Murphy. I'm a Trekkie or whatever from Boomerang or whatever movie it was where he kept mentioning, you know, being a Trekkie. It's weird. Like
yeah.
I like Star Trek. Don't get me wrong. I like Star Wars, but I think Star Wars has gotten way too sideways on me.
I agree with you.
I watched the Rogue One. I was like, okay, that's cool. And who is this person and what age? And is this a separate dimension? You know, they
Yeah,
lost
you
me.
got, You got a lot of follow on that one. That's
Like-
when you got to. Yeah.
Like, just keep it like Rocky, man. Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky. We didn't start going
Well,
backwards.
it all screwed up when they released the middle movie and then they went to the this movie because the first The Empire Strikes Back, that's like number 5 or something or 4.
and then they go back. Yeah.
Even though it was done in the 80s, it should have been really. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
Dude,
so
it's
it's
still
all jacked up.
it's
so
still-
you don't know. It's all over the board.
Yeah, it's had me at a loss from day one. I don't know anything. I don't know how or why. I can't follow any of it. It's crazy.
Now, granted, the movies are very well made, and props to the people who actually follow the movies. But Star Trek is more of a, I guess you can say, just kind of a sit-down movie with your friends. Kind of.
I'm
know.
a huge Transformers fan.
Really?
See, they got
I
rid
just-
of
the graphics and the whole
Megan
the
Fox.
plot.
Yeah.
Megan
Oh,
Fox.
it's a great. I could watch it all the time. It's one of those things that you turn on and keep on. You know what I mean?
That's what
Background.
I.
It's a background movie
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would say so.
for sure.
Because it's like you can talk to your buddies and then focus right back onto it. Go talk to your buddies a little more. It's funny.
Yeah, no, it's dude, I'm down to watch just about anything in my downtime, but I don't watch a lot of TV. I've been asked about more pop culture when it comes to TV because left to my own devices, it's a documentary. Shameless is coming out. I will be watching Shameless. I love Emmy Rossum, and I have a weird thing that if you put a hot chick in it and it's not horrible to watch, I'm about it.
Right.
So,
Right.
but I've got to like Megan Fox when they went to the other one, and okay, you're pretty and whatever. Even the James Bond, they lost me because the Bond girls were never the same. They
Right.
throw one in,
I was pissed how they didn't get rid of Megan Fox. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the TV show that's pretty popping now is Stranger Things. I don't know if you guys watch it.
No, I
But
just seen a little thing on it. And it
it's-
doesn't look
it
doesn't look interesting.
It's pretty phenomenal. It's like it's a new age Twilight Zone. It's very, very interesting. I'm very picky with my TV shows,
Yeah.
and last year when it came out, the first season, I kind of started watching. It's a little bit of a slow start, but man, it gets me sucked right in completely, and I
And
binge watch it.
you are not alone. There are a lot of people. That that are watching it. And I have a group of friends that do that. They watch. The only bad thing is obviously with doing this and getting up and having dogs, and my day does not allow me. Even on Sunday is my only day off, and I generally watch football. I'll go through the football wranglings. I have to go
Right.
grocery shopping,
Right.
do all my adulting stuff. So with doing all that, it's kind of it's I don't have a lot of time to pay attention to the pop culture stuff. And most of the stuff that I do watch, Bill Maher, the weekend tonight with the snarky guy from he's British or English or whatever, him, John Oliver. So I watch John Oliver, Bill
Yeah.
Maher, Shameless, just most of my
American Horror Story.
Billions
That's a good show,
good.
too.
Did you
See,
see American Horror?
I-
They did a whole one on Trump the whole election.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I
That's
haven't seen it yet, but
yeah.
no, I really like I like a lot of horror. I like a lot of that kind of thing because, like I said, I'm really picky about my TV shows, and it seems to be horror is what sucks me in because jump scares kind of. I'm sitting around, oh, that was scary, but let me see watch what's next, and that's why I like about Stranger Things because it's not a predictable horror. You can't get jump scared and then go, oh, this is what's happening next. Plot twists happen every episode,
Yeah, no, that's great. I just don't have time.
Right,
I don't have
right.
time, nor will my mind really, I don't know. It's
Well,
weird.
whenever you get a chance, I highly recommend it. If you ever get a chance.
Well, when I
to
turn
watch
like 90, I'll be able to watch them as old reruns, dude. I've got my
Right.
calendar pretty set. Dave, do you do any internet dating, or are you one of the Tinder people or the
it. Half and half. Recently I just started again.
way to get
Tinder.
back on the horse? Right on.
Yeah, because I kind of need a niche, and the only prescription is more cowbell. No.
Well, no. The weird thing is, like, Matt, I don't know, you've been relationshiped up for quite some time, but it is there. Just like we were talking about the porn thing earlier, right? When you're looking at some of the porn stuff, and you go, okay, wow, porn, but some people and this, dude. I think there needs to be an overall look. This is the way the world is.
Of course.
This is what is happening. That's it, right?
Right.
Don't act like you don't look at it. You don't do whatever, but then you're quick. Like somebody who, how many girls don't want to do cam girl stuff or whatever because they're afraid they're going to run into somebody. And the stripper's biggest thing is, oh my God, my high school teacher's going to walk in, or my dad, my uncles. Right. So girls, in the strip club world, they will drive from the east side to come all the way out here to work. Right.
for sure.
Like St. Clair Shores to come out here, or vice versa. Like I used to get a ton of girls from Toledo that would come up here and work and then go back to Toledo just because they just didn't want to run into anyone they know. And the same thing.
Kind of unfortunate, yeah.
Right. But, there's a bunch of other, and I like the progressiveness of millennials in that thing. Like, hey, this is what I do.
Right.
I'm not even, I've met girls who, I'm a dancer.
Yeah.
They don't even try and candy coat it when they come in with too many singles. Like, oh my God, I'm not a dancer or whatever. Okay, I'm really a dancer, but I didn't want the clerk to know. It's
Right.
so it's kind of trippy. But even internet dating back in the day, they were, hey, we'll just tell everybody we met walking down the street. We won't tell them we met online. But in the day and age that we live in currently, that would be perfect. I'm busy. You're looking for something that you're not finding in the current little groupings of people you're running in.
Right.
Why not do that?
Yeah, it's a little thing that why it's a lot less shameless, I guess you can say, of talking about it is because everybody's just accepting it. Like you're saying yourself, everybody, my group of friends or my group of age, we just accept it. It's the thing that goes on. And it's not like high school anymore, where, oh, she had sex once, she's a slut,
I don't know. I've heard quite a bit of that. Like, oh, I wouldn't mess with her, and that's coming from a lot of. It's weird how things even generationally will trickle down with the man, I don't know, she messed with a lot of dudes, or she's a hooker or whatever. And of course, she's not a hooker. She's just someone who
She's
maybe
experienced.
free with her sexuality.
Sexualized very young, right?
So yeah, kind of weird. And I mean, I'm all for that. I think all of us. I think sexual repression is
Very
stupid.
unhealthy.
Yeah, well, no, sexual repression. Being repressed is not healthy, sir. That is not good.
Yeah.
Sexual expression is very healthy as long as you're doing it in a healthy way.
Right.
Like standing out on the side of the road, getting naked, and watching cars crash, and whatever. Well, okay. Well, here since you're getting into the internet dating, world or whatever, or at least the Tinder side of it. The internet dating slangs, and Matt, in case you find yourself ever back on the market after you brought this dog home or whatever, who knows, man? You might have a couple weeks. You'll be shacking up with me and the 7 dogs. The internet dating slang terms you need to know, and of course, Ask Men coming in with another cool article. Though we're still meeting in bars and going to see movies together, dating today would be largely unrecognizable to people 10 years ago. Changes in how we find dates, how we treat them, how we describe ourselves to them radically have altered the dating landscape. To many modern day, dating can seem like a minefield of technical jargon. The phrase "my poly pansexual situationship ghosted me." So I'm, breadcrumbing the snack and half nightstand last year. Like, dude, just the terms, right? This was just a whole thing of weird terms. If you find yourself in the, or even, be my emergency call if he wants to Netflix and chill. Be clear as day to some, unintelligible to others. If you find yourself in the latter category, this gigantic glossary of 57 dating terms is for you. So, they went through poly, pansexual, all that stuff. I don't get it. Whatever the I'll bang Johnny Depp, but I'm really straight. Whatever sexuality that is, I don't know what that is. Like 35 people have been polled of y'all's age, and everyone agrees with it. I don't get it.
I don't know. It's I guess you're just comfortable with your sexuality.
I'm completely comfortable with mine.
And
Mine just happens to be
that's how
vagina.
you are comfortable with your sexuality.
Yeah, no, I'm completely comfortable with mine. I like vagina a lot. Actually, not even in the vagina. That's where babies come from. But I like all the other things that lead up to it, right? If the braille trail of the boobies to the mouth.
I guess it's like I said, it's just an open thing. Because there's some guys that I talk to, and they sometimes want to be like, hey, I mean, that dude's obviously better looking than me, and that's a certain way of thinking about it as well, that dude's better looking than me, so you're pretty much acknowledging that he's good looking.
Dude, I'll point out half of the planet, that I see is better looking than me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm totally cool with it. I get it when there's an attractive person, and attractive person, male or female. Generally, I'm making a joke like, pretty bastard.
Right.
Balls. I'm definitely not. He's talking to that chick. I'm out. Right.
Right.
Unless he's a complete Neanderthal and can't form a sentence.
Right.
There's really nothing. If it looks to looks, he wins.
Yeah.
Just like when you guys identify, not pretty women or whatever you classify them as.
Use quotes. Use air quotes.
Whatever you guys call it. Obviously, it's easy to identify male or female.
Right.
I mean, dude, I'm constantly looking at who I have to compete against, right? And I'm like, balls. Right?
Well, that's a form of it. That's a form of it. You're acknowledging that they're good looking. You're just not really putting it into a perspective.
A perspective of looking at their penis?
Well, I never said that either. I'm just saying more or less to the lines of, I don't know how to explain it. It just, you're acknowledging that person's good looking, And
that seems
it's
like
just
saying
different
it's light outside or it's dark outside. That seems about as straight to the point as I can get. If it's, is it raining or is it not raining? Is that, poor dude. Yeah, he's probably not had a girlfriend in a while. Oh, balls, this dude's going to steal every chick in the room. To me, it's just don't get me wrong. I know there are guys who will freak out, around, even like a guy who will never admit, what do you mean, God, I'm not like that. I wouldn't
Right.
say, but I mean, to me, it's this logic and reason.
I think for the most part, it's also about a conversation setting. Where if we're all talking about this, and I end up blurting out, yeah, I'll definitely bang Johnny Depp. It's also a conversation setting to be like, ah ha ha, you kind of win.
Oh,
the
I don't know,
over,
dude. We've asked it to everyone. Nick's okay with it. You, his buddy Dave, the other Dave. Like, dude, it's been like 35. I stopped at 35. I was like, I get it. I don't want to know I don't want to know the numbers. And not that I'm bothered by that, right? You
Right.
could do whatever you want. I also
Right.
don't know I don't know what you had for dinner last night. I don't know who you had sex with, nor do I care unless you tell me and I go, cool, you had sex. I'm happy for you, right? Not gonna lie. If I thought you were 100% straight and you told me about, I would be off put. I would still have a conversation, but there would be like a little warning signal, like wink, wink, wink. Oh my God, that's crazy. Like, oh, cool. Oh, no kidding. But then I would rationalize the fact that that's what somebody's into.
Right.
The weird Johnny Depp thing is the funniest thing ever. And then a lot of people will Johnny Depp when he was younger. Like when he was younger, dude, he can definitely, mini Johnny Depp, what are you going to do? And I'm like, does guys get a pass? Like, balls, here comes The Rock. Yeah, go ahead and hit it, buddy. Like, only if you're into it. I mean, I'm not into it, but if you're into it, you're The Rock, so go ahead. Like, it freaks me out. It's a thing. Like, and that's why I love talking to,
Right.
talking to young 20s. Because some of their viewpoints are so old school, and then some of them are just like,
Yeah.
wow, no
best
kidding.
Best of both worlds. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, do what you guys do. I mean, that's
It's also I'm not gonna say a big turn on, but it's a little bit of attraction for a female to be like, okay, this dude's cool with his sexuality. He obviously knows what he wants.
I'm cool
you know?
with mine too.
And that-
why
well-
are you? I'm offended that you're busting my
I don't
super
mean-
hetero
I don't mean
sexuality.
I don't mean to come off as
Don't
your-
keep touting yours is so cool because you might, if you run into Johnny Depp
I'm
at
just
like the Cannes
explaining.
Film Festival, you'd
Right.
blow him, and I wouldn't. That doesn't make you any cooler than me. That doesn't make you comfortable with your sexuality.
I don't mean to
God damn it.
brag and brash on you. I'm just trying to explain because I don't know how to put it from your standpoint because
quit-
you grew up in a different era. Than
Quit,
I did,
jumping up and down and like blowing off party favors and stuff that
Party
that you're
favors,
comfortable with your sexuality. I'm comfortable with mine too. I don't get the point of one would be and one wouldn't.
Different comfortabilities. I don't know how to I don't know how else to explain
Comfortable's
it.
comfortable, bro.
Yeah, I
the
don't know
couch
how-
is comfortable. I go sit on the couch. Couch is comfortable.
I don't know how else to explain it. I don't know. Because like you said, you grew up in a different. I guess different comfortability. What I mean by different comfortability is
You're comfortable with different things.
yes and no. It's just different times call for different measures. You guys grew up in a different time. You guys are have a different thought process.
I go out and drink
you
with
know.
Johnny Depp. I'm in the exact same
You're not
different
banging,
measure.
You're not banging
Not
him
happening.
2 shots later.
Right.
No.
But for now, this time and day and age, it's funny. It's witty. It's different to say things like that. It's a different aspect of conversation in this day and age now.
No, it's a conversation. Seriously, the dog nanny was at the house watching my dogs, and she started with the dude from Star Trek, right? And I mentioned Star Trek
Yeah.
because I had the Star Trek movie on. I was like, here, dog lady, watch the Star Trek movie. And she, oh my God, and she knows him by name, Chris Pratt or something
Yeah.
or something.
Yep.
And she's, oh my God, he's the move. And I love he's the move. He's the a couple things that I'm adding into my vocab is he's the, it's the move, right? Either he's the
Right.
move, she's the move, that's the move. I love it. It's stupid, but it makes me happy.
Right.
It annoyed me for a while, but then it just kind of sunk in. Like, ooh, man.
Is the shit?
Or
she's
it's
the
Johnny
sauce.
Johnny Depp. No, Johnny Depp's the move, right? It doesn't.
That sauce.
It's the
Yeah.
move. Or hey, dating older dudes. That's the move. That's what these chicks are. And it's funny, and they just keep saying it. Like whatever they feel that day, that's the move. Right? Like, oh my God, food. That is so the move. And I'm like, what is it? What's weird is I used to have to watch weird TV with doing radio when I was doing radio, for CBS or whatever. I would have to. You've got to stay current with everything that's going on. If
Yeah.
there's catchphrases and different words and different other things that are going on, you've got to stay current, right? Half of your listening public is.
Dude, my kid busts out with all this new lingo. He says, plug. Plug.
Oh, the plug. Yeah, it was
The plug.
which is
Plug
funny.
can mean a couple different
But
things.
the
yeah.
plug
No,
technically,
the
the plug,
plug
yeah, the
Oh.
plug technically. But then I saw somebody online be like, "Hey, man, who's got the plug on some, on some of that
No.
cheesecake? Like, well, who's got the best cheesecake? Who's got the plug
Who's
and
got a
whatever?"
connection?
Like, dude,
it's what it
I
really
plugged
means.
her.
So it's kind of it's kind of weird. What was it? The Move, and then I had another one.
There's a term called bet. Like,
Oh, that's old.
That's ours, bro.
That's old.
Don't you can't add that, Dave.
Bet.
all right. Well, I don't hear any of you guys
Sorry.
saying it. So.
Well, we don't say it anymore because it's like
Because we
archaic
don't need
and
to say
50
it.
years old. But I can play like 38, 90s rap tunes that bet.
Right.
Yeah.
Bet was it for a minute.
Yep. Yes.
Oh, that's crazy. I learn something new every day. I didn't know that bet
Oh,
was.
bet-
Well,
bet's a long
that's
time
what
ago.
that's what we're here for, Dave. You come to us with our questions.
Bet.
Yeah.
We will be
Bet.
freaked out by all the information that you give us. Totally cool with it. Don't
Right.
care, but it's neat.
There's a whole
Right.
bunch. There's a whole bunch we probably
Yeah, and the
made,
plug-
made popular.
And the plug is a drug reference, basically, right? That's
Right.
where
Oh,
it
They
started.
changed it
the
in
over
there.
to
plug,
bang
to
and
be
the-
honest, the plug is just mainly connection. Like, what do you...
Please allow us to school you that the plug, when making its way into common nomenclature, was a reference to a drug, a drug
Yeah, it still
situation.
is.
And now the plug is everything. Like, man, who got a plug on the plumber or whatever? And that's funny
Right.
because plumber, you put a plug in the drain
Yeah.
sometimes or whatever. But okay, well, let's get into some of these weird. Let's get into some of these weird things, and maybe you can clarify some of this. Maybe you've heard some of it. Maybe you hadn't.
Right.
And we'll see. Aromanic. Identity, celibacy. Okay, so it's aromantic. What you call it? I just got a weird thing. So aromanicism is pretty rare, but it's real. A certain portion of the population does not experience the feeling of romantic love that seems to come naturally for so many other of us. Right. While that might seem like either a blessing or a curse, depending on your take on love. Perhaps the most significant hurdle for, God, I hate saying the word the aromantic, is simply feeling left out and misunderstood by culture, for whom dating, love, marriage are not only the norm, but the de facto expectation for all. So that's kind of. And these are all, internet dating slang terms you should know, right? Or types of people. Asexual. A lot of people are busting people's balls. Anyone who is not actively sexual or not actively dating, asexual. So
I don't know many of these terms either, to be honest.
Really? Cool. So this is informative. Being asexual doesn't specify who you're attracted to, unlike other terms on this list. It specifies that you don't experience sexual attraction. But this doesn't mean that you can't have sex, only that you don't feel the need in the same way. Dating an ace person, ? Expect to check in regularly with them, re their desires and boundaries, just as you would when dating anybody else. Patrick, are you dating Scott? I thought he was asexual, not gay. Scott's asexual and likes boys. It ain't mutually exclusive. So, asexual, I guess, not having
Right.
the way we always used to asexual. Like if a being was asexual, like it could cut off its own tail and reproduce. Like it's just it doesn't need sex to procreate. But
Right.
I guess, asexual, their sexuality basically just saying they don't feel anything.
That's really unfortunate.
Okay. So now on to benching. Benching, it's a dating move. Okay. So the term benching.
Right.
Benching is when you're not into someone enough to commit, fully to officially dating them, but you don't want them to move on and find someone else either. So you string them along just enough to keep them, waiting on the sidelines for you. Which I think everyone has done in
Have
one way
that
or
happen
another.
to me, yeah.
Oh, you've had it happen to you. Yeah, you've been
yeah.
benched.
Recently, actually.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So.
But you can't even, you can't, it's kind of weird. You can't even fault people for doing stuff like that, right? If they don't know and they don't, but they string you along. Now here,
If they acknowledge it, then it's kind of their
All
fault.
I'm asking, if you're going to string me along with sex, right?
Right.
If we're not going to officially date or it's not going to go anywhere, but as long as but then again, if you get strung along, whose fault is it? Yours or theirs, right?
Shame. Yeah.
You know, if you got strung along, okay, you hopped on the string, they strung you along. Look, you should know that after your 3-4 date minimum and you're doing whatever, if there's no sex involved, that's where, like when we talked with when we were talking with Nick and a few other people, we had talked to them about communication.
Right.
I don't know why people, and I guess I recall because I don't want to say anything, I don't want to screw this up.
Right.
But I think one of the things with you guys, with the millennial, especially being younger, you guys being willing to kind of just throw it out there and say what you're doing. Like, hey, man, I don't want anything serious. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm still going to go home and hook up with you tonight. Just don't get weird and freak out on me. And, that's cool. And I only have about 1 day a week free, and it's not the same
Right.
day. But if I'm free and you're free, cool.
Let's hook
Dude,
up,
that
right.
clarifying is amazing, which didn't happen in our day, did it, Matt? We had
No.
to pretend
You had
to
to
be
read. Yeah.
dude, we had to pretend to be everything and do, just hope you don't mess it up and make sure everything's right. We got into relationships we didn't even really want to be in.
Right.
Because she wouldn't have sex with you unless you were in a relationship. Like, how many times is that? That just pretty much our 18 or 17 through 20, 21-year-old lives.
Right, for sure.
Like,
I think it's kind of more or less the lines of you just don't want to waste time with a person. Hey, what is your intentions? What is my intentions? If they don't match, then they don't match. Kind of move on. It's just saving time for yourself.
Can you see who's on?
I can. We got Lisa popped on and big Ernest, big Ernie from.
No, Zach.
I don't see. I see Matt. I see Graham. Nope, not on.
punk.
Not on my side. So you've been benched. Now don't get upset by, again the benching or the benchy.
Oh, it's moving on. It's moving on. Find something else. It's necessarily how it goes. I feel like someone who gets older, it's easier to move on from it because you have other distractions. You have other things that you can do with yourself in that point. As an earlier relationship, let's say it's your first relationship, it's your first hookup, it's kind of difficult for that person to let it go. I had a buddy who we had a girl in the friend group and a buddy in the friend group, and they started liking each other. And the main rule of the friend group is don't date anybody in the friend group. Don't do it. You're you're going to break up. You're going to almost break up the friend group. B, you're going to resent each other. You're going to help present everybody, help everybody resent everybody else. Just don't do it. And that was the rule of the friend
But
group.
it's really, really hard, man. You
And
get
you
into a
gotta be
friend
slick.
group,
You
it
gotta
always
be-
happens.
That's
you
what
gotta
I'm
be
saying.
Slick. You
So-
just gotta do it on the DL.
Right. So it happened, right? And so we're like, all right, we're accepting it. And then he starts getting deeper, and she already let him know, hey, I'm going to be moving away because she went to Michigan Tech, I'm going to be moving away, far away. I don't want this to be a big thing because you know what happens. And he just kind of kept falling for it. We're like, dude, just let it be a thing. And she was his first. Now, how do you think he felt when she moved away? He kind of got stuck up on it. This is his first time kind of.
Well, that's his own fault.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Again, that's you've got to take responsibility in that
Right.
stuff. In that stuff also.
You got walls. You got walls to put up.
Right.
That's
See?
right. Like Trump, they putting up
That's
them walls. All right. So the next
man.
is bisexuality.
Oh,
okay.
boy.
So
Johnny
bisexual persons are attracted to two genders. In the 90s, we had said bisexual persons are into men and women, but we know a little more about sex and gender than we used to. Swinging both ways, flexible, cross-platforming, compatible, or rooting to both teams, a bisexual person can enjoy sex or fall in love with the same gender as themselves or a different gender, from themselves. Bi people might prefer dating one gender and sleeping with another. That's a weird twist, but they can still call them bi. A bisexual person is like a bicycle. Both share the prefix bi, which means two. Mike, why do you guys call yourself bisexual? You've only dated women. That's true, but I just haven't met a guy that I wanted to call my boyfriend yet. Johnny Depp.
I'm not bi though.
Well, and here's the thing: like, I don't agree with labels in general, like conservative, Democrat, and whatever.
Right.
Nobody can fall into all categories. Sexuality is even a harder thing to wrap your mind around. That's even more difficult. And the one thing that I'm finding from the general public, right, like doing retail, I'm friends with a ton of people, and the weird. And obviously, because I'm me, and a lot of the conversations that we get into, this is not only the Bachelor Pad Radio, this is the Bachelor Pad lifestyle, right? Everything seems to be about sex, dating, relationships, religion. You got us on the religion the other day. I got into it with our buddy Graham, where we had crazy religion talk,
Right.
trying, and, not in a bad way, just expressing different,
Informative,
right? And, I'm fact and science. He's faith and belief, and then we go through and we have an open, healthy debate. But the weird conversations that we get into, it is kind of neat, because I do have a large grouping, and y'all's mashed up, jumbled up sexuality is a trip to me. I'm totally cool with it if that's what you dig, but I'm still gonna get on you about the I'm free, I'm open with my sexuality, or I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
So I'm as comfortable. I'm like a pig in a blanket, bro.
Right. And you're happy because you're comfortable.
I am.
you know.
Dude, I'm a creep. I'd
Right.
bang a sex robot. I mean, I got my own things.
Right.
Like, dude, when the sex doll becomes available, I'm about it, right? I'm just hoping.
on it, right.
But if a chick doesn't come along in between, right? Because I just can't functionally date with my, with my craziness and my, and my hours that I keep. So it's kind of weird. Okay, this is one I was kind of concerned about: breadcrumbing. I'm assuming this is like Hansel and Gretel. I haven't read it yet.
I would assume.
So I don't know exactly what this is. So, okay, so breadcrumbing. Breadcrumbing is when you send flirty but non-committal messages to a person when you're not really interested in dating them, but don't have all the guts to break things off with them completely. The breadcrumb E is strung along for the sake of sparing the breadcrumber the confrontation. Okay, again, I think the fault is on the breadcrumb. If you're not getting what you need and somebody's stringing you along, have the conversation. Communication is key.
Right.
And I'm not saying that only because we're using social media to do an old version of a radio show that I used to do, because communication, I think, is key. Communication in relationships is beyond key. It's essential. Right. And even if it's dating and you barely know them, communicate properly from the outset, from
You'll
the
never
onset.
have any problems.
And you won't.
Right.
Dude, just imagine the ability to, hey, I like this, or I don't like that, or this is what we're going to do. And no, I don't want to go to your sister's house. That's your family, right? They're your
Right.
family. You have to see them. I don't make you come see mine. You want to come see mine. You're glutton for punishment. I live with these people my whole life. Avoid the pain.
Right.
Stay somewhere else.
Run while you can.
That's right. So Renee replies to every second or third message I send her, but never wants to meet in real life. I think she's breadcrumbing me. So breadcrumbing is
Yeah.
stringing along, but I guess the new term is breadcrumbing. So put that in your mental Rolodex there,
All right.
Davey.
Yeah, I will.
All right,
Here.
casual relationship. Somewhere in between F buddies and going steady is the casual relationship, in which two people typically hang out regularly and have sex, but don't partake in the hallmark of a serious relationship, like exclusivity, ongoing commitment, and spending time with each other's friends and family. This is a good one. I like the casual relationship.
Right.
I think if more relationships were casual, they would have a tendency to grow into the super, relationship,
Right. Yeah.
sitcom-y or whatever, the movies tell us it's supposed to be. What's up, Bill Pierce? Billy in the house. I love me some Bill Pierce. I love the whole family. That's a good family.
Yeah.
They're a really good family. And Bill's a ginger, too. So
Oh, boy.
we share the gingerness. So yeah, the casual relationship. I think I have friends with benefit type thing going on with my friend Emily. The casual, it's a casual relationship.
Right.
So I think
Those are the kind of relationships I usually go for.
yeah, because who has time with a work
Yeah.
life and
Right.
whatever hobby, playing music, doing any number of things.
Mm-hmm.
I think even in real relationships, like Matt's in a real relationship, right?
Yeah.
They cohabitate, they do whatever. But even at times, that almost has to seem like a casual relationship when you've got 10 hours of differing times spent out doing other things, right? With
Right.
work and kids and this. You really just kind of meet up and even though I like casual relationships because
Yeah.
it's just you're not stressing me out with all the other stuff. I still want them to be at my house.
Yeah.
Like, I really want them to just magically appear when I get home. Like, they're following me, tracking me, like people near you on Facebook. Oh, there goes Jake. He's on Michigan Avenue.
You can only hope.
And they just pull up and they magically come there. Like, just I will allow a tracking beacon on my vehicle.
Right.
When you see me moving towards the house, believe me, if I'm heading towards the house, I do not pass go. I'm like Monopoly. I'm going to go right to the crib.
Right.
Just be there and let's have a chat and, hey, how was your day? Cool. Let's walk the dogs and have, chicken pot
Right.
pie and make the wrestle and, all good things.
Hey-
Uh-oh. What up there, girl parts? We got Colin in the house.
I think what determines that, the casual relationship going into a huge relationship, at least for me, I know it could be different for everybody, is how long you can stick around for. If you stick around for a long while and you start showing more, affection, more like emotion towards that other person, I feel like then it starts to push it more into a real relationship, where I'm gonna take them almost everywhere, we're gonna talk all the time, that kind of thing.
Can I give you one piece of advice there, big guy? Giving you one piece of advice. You've been in a few relationships in your young life, yeah? I know more about them than I would like to, but
Yeah.
you've been in a few, right?
Yeah.
No matter how serious you take them or how loose you take them, they all seem to end up the same way, right? You're back single and you're back doing whatever it is you need to do, right?
Right.
So I don't understand the taking it, like if you were looking at something scientifically and you went, I'm going to take this extremely serious and I'm going to take this extremely light, and they both go down the same roads doing everything right, being a good guy and being attentive, doing all the things you need to do, and they all end, right? You're born and you die. You get into a relationship, and a lot of people think like a 5-year relationship and you guys broke up, like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Right.
Dude, that was a good 5-year relationship.
Right.
Just because it ended, I've had friendships that I had a great like 12, 14-year friendship with people.
Right.
And then when they end, okay, we just got differing, he's a
views,
Republican, I'm Democrat, I hate the guns, he likes the guns, this is too much, we can't be friends anymore. That's a joke because Matt likes the guns. But when you do, everything begins and ends. So I think if you value, just like I value and I can find an endearing quality in any female I look at and not go, oh, she's attractive, she's not attractive, that you can find the same endearing qualities in a relationship.
Yeah.
That, hey, I've had some spectacular 6-month relationships that, hey, things didn't work out, but boy, did we have a load of fun.
Good time, right.
Load of fun, no pun intended. So,
But
yeah, I know you haven't been called girl parts in a while. We got old Benchkin in the house. I see Robbie on there. Did you see Robbie?
No, I didn't.
This is a good trick. Okay, now this one I don't know. This is called AKA cis. It's cisgender. So, cisgender. Do you know anything of this, Dave? You're supposed to be our knowledge on everything under 30.
I've definitely heard that term floating around. I'm not, like I said, I'm not big into the whole
Cisgender.
labeling.
There's a gender you just go, you're like my sister. This is Joe Dirt.
Is that what it is?
No, it's absolutely not. But anytime a sister, you're
Hey,
my
look at
sister.
her.
Joe Dirt. What up, guy? Okay, so cisgender is a term for people who aren't transgendered or who are assigned to a gender lines up with any of their actual gender. But it isn't that normal that you might ask. Actually, it isn't. It's just more common variations in sex and sexuality are perfectly normal and occur frequently in nature. Gender is a little more, complicated, as we don't have the theory of mind that, encompasses gender for non-human animals. While cisgender people may outnumber transgendered people, it isn't that it isn't a default setting. It's one of the many. From cis meaning literally on the side of in mathematics or organically, organic chemistry. So what's the opposite of trans then? Normal? No, it's not. No, it's not. But the term you're looking for is cis. So the opposite of trans, opposite of transgender. So that one is confusing as balls. I got nothing out of that. It just sounded like, hey, look over there.
Yeah.
And then somebody, squirrel. That is the squirrel sex. That's
I
what we
don't
should
pay
call
attention too much of the labeling. I guess it's just nothing. If it doesn't go towards me, I shouldn't worry about it too much. I mean, if I meet somebody that is under one of the categories, then they'll enlighten me. That's what conversation is all about. But no, I'm not. I'm not too familiar with most of these terms.
Yeah, that's right. And then cuffing season. Cuffing season. Now, knowing all of you, you 20-somethings, when I heard, cuffing season, I was like, balls, you got to get into SM. Yeah, like, you guys have a season for, like, sadomasochists? Like, I got to get the red ball harness set and the leather mask out of the closet? I'm like, balls. But cuffing season, right? Which is funny because that is the time that I've gotten into every relationship in my life. Cuffing season is the period between early fall and late winter when everyone starts to shack up with, the nearest half-decent single person to ward off the loneliness and cold, during the colder months. Cuffing season typically, implied a short-term, mutually beneficial arrangement that's strictly seasonal and that ends as soon as the leaves start turning green again. The term is an vernacular which has been around since the early 2010s. Okay, so I just didn't pick up on cuffing season,
Right.
but I saw it a lot in just in weird social media. So
Right.
and that what we call it in the neighborhood is in the neighborhood I live in an all Irish neighborhood, so it's the Irish time, right? It's a time for the Irish. I could be talking to a girl in late August. Like, it could be August, 20th. Hey, what's going on? And, you've been around her for a while and you feel that, hey, we're comfortable enough and I should probably, hey, let's go out and do something. I'm busy and this and that. I don't know. I'll get back with you. Let it turn into, September 7th. She's calling me. Every long-term relationship I've got into between September and November, right? And it's weird. And I think it's for exactly what it said. It's the period between, that...
It's the holidays. Nobody wants to be alone in the holidays.
where everyone starts to shack up with the nearest half decent single person to ward off the loneliness.
Yeah.
And look, I look cuddly, right? Like, I can cuddle with the best of them. And, Jake's always carrying an extra couple pounds, right? There's no abs showing. But, even when I'm in
Right.
good shape, you might get the
Got
one
your,
or two.
Got your winter coat on.
Always. But, dude, that's great cuddle. Dude, I can keep everyone warm. It's good. So I
Everyone,
think that's the when I read that, I went, oh, yep, get the next half-decent person in your closest area, and that's who you shack up with. Maybe that's why all my relationships, although they don't end, and that's the weird part, because I've had a 6-year, a 3.5, and a couple others. So I've had some good runs of it,
Right. I think I like that as well. I like this time during fall because it seems to me the best sex or the best relationships, those short-term relationships, happen during the fall. I guess it's the setting as well. You're more comfortable inside. It's getting colder. You spend more time together inside than outside doing things. You have less distractions. I like it. I don't know. I like that term. I think it's very endearing.
Yeah, no, it is a time of the year. It's and that's where I seem to do my best.
Right.
Although I put a lot of work into my spring and summer shenanigans this year, so I had a really good session. The next one is curve. Okay, getting curved is being rejected, shot down, turned aside,
Yep.
said no to, dissed and dismissed. That's another dissed and dismissed. That's like old school 90s rap also.
Right.
That's not like Eric being Rakim. Yes, it sucks when you get curved, but you need to take a moment to properly absorb all the no that just hit you. But there's also something beautiful in a well done curve. It's a memento to a failure, big and small, that you can carry around with you.
Yeah.
And use to prop you up or tear you down or tear down narratives about your dateability, right? So
I agree.
a curve is often subtler than a flat out no. Think your text gets seen but no respond to it. So even if it hurts the same, it carries a name that implies a redirection other than an outright rejection. I've tried to ask this babe out at the bar last night, and she curved me harder than I've ever been curved in my life. And curveballs are hard to hit, right? I get the weird analogy with it.
Right.
But, hey, I'm a little bit more of a fan of just tell me no. Like, I'm completely okay. I'm an adult.
With me as well.
You don't have to say, I got to wash my hair.
Yeah, and I've got to do this, or I'd really like
or-
to, but I'm in kind of
wasting my time.
Yeah. Because that allows, even a curve, if not done properly, will lead you to believe that you still have a choice. It's the Jim Carrey. So you're
Yep.
saying I still have a choice. No,
No.
no choice.
I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's like I like to get to the point. I think it's a waste of time, and it's even though for the fallee, the guy who falls for it or the girl who falls for it, it is kind of both parties' fault. But it is kind of a very rude thing to do. Not very rude thing, but a rude thing to do is to kind of like just push them off to the side, instead of confront them, like you said yourself. I mean,
Well, but then again, you got to think about it from the other person's perspective. So what? So at what point am I, because you like me and because you're trying to get with me? Why do I have to be nice and let you down easy? You're infecting my, like, if I'm at the bar and some chick keeps coming up, hey, blah, 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 hey, why don't you come
Right.
back over here? Why? At some point, I owe you nothing, right? Only as a human being do I owe you a certain level of decency.
Right.
But if I kind of like, if you're throwing them a curveball here and there and you're, yeah, so you're telling me there's a chance. That's my cousin. And Billy Pierce, the address is on the Bachelor, maybe not on the Bachelor pad, but on my regular Facebook. You can come in and either sit in the peanut gallery, you can hop on a mic, and then again, it's been a long time. We could probably do a show on your family and my family from the old days. But I also don't believe, I don't believe anyone's really owed anything. If you're pursuing someone and doing whatever, I think a good no, like, no,
right.
you know, but nobody, dude, you know how many guys have gotten with girls because girls have a hard time saying no? They have a hard time saying like a flat out no. So if you're a good salesman, you wonder how this right here has gotten some of the ladies I have.
Yeah.
I just will rebuttal you until you just go, balls. Okay, fine. I mean, I was going to have sex with somebody tonight, but just come on, just don't be a creep, right? And you got a condom, eh? Yeah. So you find a way to weasel into it, but girls have a hard time saying no.
Yeah.
And why is my screen being jerky? There we go. And there was we'll go through one or two. I think there's like 500 of these things.
Jeez.
Oh my
No,
God.
there really are. There's
No. Is
there's
there?
a lot. They said 58, and I had no way to actually source which ones were really awesome ones and which ones weren't. But we went through quite a few.
What do you got over there?
As far as fluid wise, it is milk and honey. You don't like the dude? Why do you ask me? It's all I do.
Why?
Milk and honey is
Just
very
like my
tasty.
sexuality. Like, hey, well, who's that laying in bed with you? It's a female. What vape fluid is in my thing? I'm very monogamous with my decision making, with a lot of my stuff. So I don't know, man.
Milk and honey.
Easy for gift giving. For
Milk
you
and
then.
honey is the cat's
It
pajamas,
is
bro.
very tasty, I think.
Dude, it's the greatest thing ever in life.
I don't know about all that, but
It really is, dude. If you knew,
dude, I just tried the bomb pop. That's good.
the bomb pop is good.
The bomb. It's the bomb.
Yeah, no,
Bomb.
the bomb diggity. Actually, what is today? Thursday. Our order comes in tomorrow for bomb pop. Dude, we're sold out again. We sell the bomb pop
Leah
like
got
crazy.
some. She's like, here, try it.
Who did? Aaliyah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that little girl was so happy to see you today.
I know.
She's like, where's my bag? Well, probably because she fights and argues with almost everybody else she comes into contact with. And you guys like jokingly argued for like 6 minutes and then were fine after that. And then she was kind of like your vapor counselor. So
Yeah, she was my counselor.
she is an interesting chick. She's become my dog nanny.
Are you paying her, or she's just working for juice?
No, for food. No, for food, and if she does, if she goes over to my house and goes in, lets my dogs out, whatever. The one thing, I'm all about consistency. So if she's consistent enough that, hey, I go to work at 4, I don't get back on days like this until like 11. So somewhere in that, Shadow's getting old. So for her to, to be able to hold her business and whatever, and I just don't like my dogs being alone that long.
Right.
I need you to go over there at like 7:30 to
Really?
to like 8:15. If she's over there like on nights where she just won't have something going on, so she'll just go to my house and take care of my dogs. I come home and I know she's been taking care of my dogs while I'm doing
Is she
this.
there right now?
No.
She was there.
She was there. She already went by. Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's cool. of her.
So no, it is really cool, dude. She's other
and
than
she has
being,
to roll all the way back out that way.
her friend lives right out by me.
Oh, I thought she had to roll to Burke.
If she's going to work, then she definitely will. So let me see if I can get my computer to quit being being janky.
Poltergeisty.
No, it's just I think I've got you guys on the Wi-Fi.
I'm not on. I'm on my own.
Are you on your own?
Oh,
Look
yeah,
at you,
for sure.
Mr. Independent. Okay,
It's refreshing right now. You did something.
what's that?
I got a loading symbol.
Mine's definitely still going.
No, mine's still going. Everything's still going. But yeah, the Ask Man article, Ask Man article is a good one. AskMen.com, dating advice, internet dating, slang terms. There are some on here that you just I didn't know, And then okay, we'll do the last one. Because my computer's freezing and it's going to make it very difficult. I think it knows. It's like, look, bro, we've been on for like an hour and 20 minutes. It's time to get a move on. So now we've got cushioning, right? Which is weird, right? Because I'm looking at it going cushioning.
Cushioning.
Yes, and it's
Cushioning?
good because they have the which I think. Well, my computer's frozen, so I can't actually see, but it's funny. The pronunciation is cushioning, but so. As above, cushioning, is the process of staying in contact with one or more romantic prospects as a backup in case things don't go smoothly with your main squeeze. The cushions are usually kept, they're kept and through texting and rather than full blown cheating or whatever. So I think that's
Isn't that just like the other one there?
it's a lot like it. And all they're doing
the breadcrumbing.
the breadcrumbing, stringing
Isn't it?
along.
But you're just doing it via text, right? Same thing.
Yeah. No, keeping the backup. And all these things have always gone on. They've always happened. So, these things have been going on for a long time. They're just renaming them. They're coming up with cool names. I don't think there's anything weird going on other than the
Everything you said we've done before.
Yeah, exactly. It's just they're putting weird terms to it. So I think it's good for us to read through this article so when people say stuff, we're not, what?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah,
What?
we've been there before.
That's getting played. No, that's called a hamburger and fries.
buddy. with tartar.
Yeah, you
something.
get some
Sounds
tartar
pretty
sauce on them
delicious.
fries and be like, what are you
Wow.
talking about? That's got played.
Extra
Sounds really
cheese.
tasty.
Yeah.
Oh, I
So
hear ya.
That sounds really tasty right now.
so interesting. Well, since my computer is freezing up and being kind of jerky, we'll go ahead and call it a wrap. And we have hit our minimum time requirement for our live. So thank you for coming out sick and bringing back my other creature that I have to, now work into the mix.
All right, no, yeah, it was awesome. It was a good
Good
dog,
session.
good dog,
Yeah.
good dog. But you gotta say goodbye to your peeps there.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Who do we got on there so far?
We got Jamie Davis Jamie just joined. Michelle,
It was a steady
my cousin,
Michelle.
he liked. Dude, I've been on movie references all day. I've been movie referencing like nobody's business today.
Really?
Dude, I've gone everywhere from Jim Carrey. It's like people keep saying things to me,
And you take them and you, yeah.
and I hear the movie phrase in my skull, right?
I hear
So
you.
it's just really weird. I did a couple Zohans today. I did the Do you
Nice.
read Spiegel catalog once a month, twice a month? This is job 2, you stupid cow.
Right.
I went Zohan pretty heavy today.
Good movie.
Yeah, very good movie.
Good movie.
Not many people know it.
Really?
Yeah,
Wasn't that popular?
it really wasn't.
Yeah, you're right. Now that you mention it, I haven't. When it did come out, I didn't see much of it in many places.
Dude, I could almost recite the very beginning of the movie from beginning to end, even the theme song of it,
Really?
yeah.
Good for you.
Are you a Zoolander guy?
Not a Zoolander. I didn't like the male model. The
That was
blue
funny.
steel. The blue steel.
Yeah.
That was funny.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it was funny, but I like Zohan. I like the Zohan. I like stupid college. I mean, dude, I'm swear to God, I'm like
Bad
17.
Moms,
I've never grown up.
Bad Moms are doing the VIP showing tonight. Friends of mine went.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I mean,
Bad
I liked
Moms
it because there
the first
were,
one
but it
good.
was a classic. The Bad Moms movie was classic, right? You got the one rogue mom, the PTA moms, the this and this, and she's attracted to the single dad. Blah blah blah. They get together, they thwart the whatever. The other one sees the trouble of their ways. Like, dude, seriously, there's
but it's good. It's funny stuff though. How the one girl's the funniest. The one she's like, well, you don't get in trouble for banging the janitor in the school. That was great.
No, I would advise everyone to watch Girl Trip though, because they gave us the understanding of grapefruiting, which was awesome. Girls Trip is very funny, like laugh out loud. Like I think I peed a little, right? Like I had a spot on the front of my pants.
Yeah.
Like
Really? Yeah.
I peed a little. Dude, it made me laugh a lot.
Good for you.
Yeah. No, it's good. And I watched it by myself. I was laying in bed and I went, "Oh, Pretty Black Ladies. Who's in that?" Whatever. And I've watched The Brothers, all the, especially all the, the black comedies or the relationship comedies or whatever, because it's always funny, right? You go from Eddie Murphy, The Boomerangs, Brothers, The Wood, all those things, dude. They're great. Dude, like we weren't like raised on, on black hip hop culture to begin with. So I like watching, especially relationship movies with it, because it's, they point out so many different things in relationships that go on with, with black couples than white couples and whatever. And, seeing, a lot like your random sexuality, my heterosexuality, ends, it begins and ends with, everything falls apart when it comes to multicultural.
They call me Bruce.
Oh,
Josh.
Josh
said, remember that one?
Yeah, They Call Me Bruce. It was a parody of like a Bruce Lee movie with
the white dude.
Yeah.
Who was that guy?
It was actually
Kevin something.
No,
They
Call Me Bruce. If it's They Call Me Bruce was an actual like a really nerdy Asian guy who didn't really know karate, but he played. If you get a chance to watch it, it's stupid funny.
Kind of like Kung Pao.
Kind of, sorta.
Okay.
But it's old and janky. Like it's like how am I forget because he's my little cousin, and this is when you're putting a couple years on because I'm like, how the hell does my little? Oh, that's right, my little cousin is gotten old also.
I think I seen that. I think I seen that one.
Yeah, or like Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. That was a great movie. Like that made me like I wanted the glow. Like I really wanted the glow. Like and Show Nuff and Bruce Leroy and whatever.
Yeah.
It was great.
Remember Kung Fu Theater? Did you ever watch Kung Fu Theater?
They came on Channel 20 or Channel 50 or whatever?
Saturday night
Yeah.
at like 11
Oh,
o'clock.
dude. Where the guys would always jump in the trees
Dude,
and they would
the
fight.
praying mantis and the freaking
the
lizard.
cobra.
Don't mess with the cobra.
You don't want to mess with the cobra.
Or the cat,
chameleon.
yeah.
Remember the chameleon guy?
Yeah, no, dude, they were ridiculous. And when they jump up and down in trees or whatever, really, really made me happy. Because there was one, and I thought like maybe the projector got stuck because they just kept jumping up and down. Like I went and got a snack and came back, and they were still like
jumping,
jacking
yeah.
around in the tree. I was like,
Remember
come on, guys.
remember the white contacted blind Chinese guy with the white long hair? Remember that guy?
That was Kung Fu, David Carradine's Kung Fu like master. The guy would take the pebble out of my hand or
no,
whatever.
but it was a Kung Fu Theater, funny, jokey,
I don't remember.
bad.
I don't remember a lot of it. I just remember I'd turn it on when I needed to get my Kung Fu fix on. But on that note, I'm going to go get my Kung Fu fix on at home as I try and battle my crazy dogs. And Scuba Steve loves me forever because I bring his girlfriend home. Well, thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We are back. Matt is back from the living dead.
Yeah.
So Matt is no longer sick. Yesterday, we took the day off just because, everybody was sick. I could have done this and done direct to cam, but I really didn't have anything prepared, and I was kind of over it. I was kind of mad at everybody for getting sick. Like, how dare you allow your immune system to get so low?
Right.
And do us a favor if you like anything. Today was a very random show. Obviously, wasn't 100% sure Matt was going to come in.
Yeah.
Dave, I put out the bat signal for Dave. Didn't have a whole lot produced for today, so
It ended up going pretty well.
No,
I
it
would
did.
assume.
It's guys sitting around talking.
Yeah, it's
and we
talking
didn't
shop.
we didn't get into some of the crazy stuff that we got into in the last few days. But I'm sure Nick will be back, so we'll be. He seems to bring it out of me. If you do share it with your friends. Let people know we're trying to produce a localized radio style show. You can chime in, and we will talk to you. Feel free to leave comments in the side. We got Matt looking into comments that are coming in. Myself,
some, yeah.
If you've got any topics, any random things you want to talk about, you name it, you put it on here. Believe me, we will talk about it.
Bad 80s show next segment.
That's right. All right, so Dave, thanks a lot for coming out. Do appreciate you.
Of course.
Matt from Redford.
Yep.
And Jake, this is the Bachelor Pad Radio, JakePodcast.com. We'll see y'all tomorrow at 9:30-ish.
You on?
Oh, yeah.
Did you?
Boy,
Is it off?
that's weird.
Facebook.
Yeah.
There it goes.
Stop streaming.
The video has ended.
Okay, why is
100 views.
Yeah, we get anywhere between 100 and 144, and then after.
You can see the views of how many people?
Mm-hmm. I've got
'Cause
all the I got all the
can't,
analytics.
obviously, I can't see any of that. I can just see the 100 views. You go to like it, but there's no one.
Oh, great! It seems like my fucking computer.
Yeah, I learned some stuff today. I didn't know those terms.
Which church? What? Okay.
Yeah, they call me Bruce. It was a parody of like a Bruce Lee movie with the white dude. Yeah, who's that guy? Oh no, it was actually Kevin something. No, they call me Bruce. If it's they call me Bruce was an actual like a really nerdy Asian guy who didn't really know karate, but he played. If you get a chance to watch it, it's stupid fun. Yeah, like kind of sorta, but it's old and janky. Like it's like how am I forget because he's my little cousin. And this is when you know you put a couple years on because I'm like, how the hell is my little? Oh, that's right, my little cousin is also. You know, I think I see that. Yeah, they were like.
How's my voice this time?
That was good.
Was it a lot better?
Like, you know, if remember directly.
Much better. Yeah.